Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I truly do appreciate that. I'm sitting here, on a $0 budget with these terrible lights. Oh, goodness. I tell you, at some point, you feel me? I really will make this better. I know, this is real life, though. You're watching some dude just struggle out on his own trying to figure everything out. And eventually I will. Eventually I will. But until then, I'm stuck here in front of these terrible lights that were terribly made, probably by slave labor, in a terrible place called China. Moreover, in the Xinjiang region, more specifically with Uyghurs people, a current ethnic group being genocided by the CCP. Right? So, anyways, tonight I want to talk about testing your water, okay? Listen, America, right? All the time we get reminded about stupid immigration policies that perpetuate racism, and the presidential candidates got us stuck on stupid stuff, right? Things that they know they'll never be able to change or they'll never be able to impact, but they're doing it to drum up that convo, you feel me? To distract you from what really matters. And what really matters is basically everything except for what they try to tell you. Seriously. Anyways, I feel like testing your water is something that no governmental agency or private company ever tells customers or citizens to do. And I feel like it's because all of our water is completely contaminated and garbage. I'd moreover argue that like fluoridation and the fact that PFAS is mixed with fluoridation and fluoridized water, like human beings, honestly, again, they can be categorically described as manipulating sort of. I mean, you can't even say hedonistic because hedonistic implies a good time, but just evil people, evil people. That's what it is, right? When you dilute an entire people's population with chemicals, like there's really no other word for it. There's no accident. You don't accidentally become evil. This is not a thing. People have accidents. People make mistakes. That's a thing. But to continue on in a way that makes the problem worse and to never acknowledge it and to never try to do anything to really rectify the situation, not at least before it all goes up in flames and everybody wonders what happened, and then all of a sudden, still, places like Flint, Michigan, places that have already gone through the worst of things, aren't even being discussed anymore because of, well, it's just not a happy thing to talk about. You know, I don't know how all y'all feel, right, about like politicians and like the law system or whatever, but like I'm straight up tired of like living, in a world where our government like takes advantage of everybody, like, and I say that with like a lighthearted, just sort of, prepositional tone in that like it sucks. Like how many more millions of people, how many more billions of people all around the world feel like I do? In terms of just like really another one, really we got to do really you're feeding us junk water. The water we're drinking is poison and we're all slowly going to unalive ourselves faster than what a normal mortality rate would do to us as it concerns the things that we're exposed to and so forth in the world. Listen, testing your water is really important. Let's do this on camera. So I have some water here, okay? And here is a TDS tester, okay? So I'll turn it on. This will tell us how many parts per million of PFAS are in here. And so I'm getting a 0 from this one, right? My roommate and I are absolutely set on, we may not be the richest guys or have really any money at all, especially because I don't have a job and stuff. But if there's one thing we must, have in our life, it's clean water. And that's, again, the fact that I feel like we have to go through so much trouble to get clean water when, like, the earth should just be able to provide us with clean water, no problems, is a problem. Like, taking away, like, our resources and our freedoms, like, it's just so dystopian. Like, what's the whole point, yo? Like, what are you doing? What's the end game? So, anyways, so tonight, I'm drinking a soda. I've never done this before. With the exception of when I did it last week, I got a drink from Wendy's. Okay, check this out. I got a drink from Wendy's, a soda from their soda machine, their freestyle soda machine. And I tested it for PFAS. I tested it with the TDS tester. Okay, and you would be surprised, right? Because soda should be clean water. It's mostly water and a lot of sugar, but mostly water, right? And so, a part of it being water means that it should have come from a source that was filtered or purified, right? So when you put this into a soda, it should be zero. I mean, the water in it should be filtered, meaning that unless there's a crazy amount of PFAS in the syrup, which again, this isn't a very controlled experiment in that there's a lot of concessions being made, right? But it's just VlogsBoutNothin guy doing some little silly experiment with PFAS and his TDS tester with his can of Dr. Thunder provided by good old Bentonville, Arkansas, the Walmart Corporation. Awesome. This is why I am a fan of Walmart. And I hear it all the time. I used to, critique and I still criticize Walmart, but I think at the very least, the fact that I can count on Walmart to sell me a soda that doesn't have any PFAS in it, cheers to Walmart. Because unfortunately, I don't even have that same security, nor do you at home, when it comes to the water from your tap. Also, the water that you bathe in. Because that's a pretty big deal, right? I mean, drinking it's one thing. Another thing is to just completely submerge yourself in poison. Human beings are made of water, not poison. So it's sort of like we need water, right? Clean water. Earlier, I took a test of the water in my bathroom, in my shower. And it was at 2 parts per million. Like, I don't know what the recommended level is. I probably should have looked that up before the video. All I know is that the threshold on our filtered water is somewhere between 0.03 and 0.06 parts per million. When I'm bathing in water that is literally 3 times, maybe even 4 times as toxic as the water that comes out of the sink, obviously, obvious. But the thing is like, is it that obvious, right? Because just earlier I tested the water coming straight from my shower, and it was at 2 parts per billion, meaning that I'm like literally considering taking showers with our filtered water canisters and just like the bathtub, because I don't want some crazy disease happening to me in 20 years because I took showers here at my apartment in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Like, that's insane. And I just kind of want to live a normal life. And I feel like it's really frustrating to have to be this gosh darn vigilant as it concerns the basic utilities that we're supposed to be provided for and we pay for, when in fact it's just some straight up poison. Like, what is the point? What is the long game? Are corporations literally just trying to unalive everyone? Like, is that like, I mean, seriously, not to sound like, cryptic by nature, but just, again, at some point, having some common sense and, like, understanding that the diet we are told to have here in America is toxic, the water that we drink here in America is toxic, the media that we're fed is toxic, the presidential campaign of 2024 is absolutely, it may as well be featured on The Onion. Like, I feel like it would get better traffic on The Onion. I feel like nobody under the age of 40 cares about who's going to be the president, and that bothers me. Because this country is not a company of some old, angry, grumpy boomers who are like, who again, what are they doing? What is the point? Like, do they not accept and or understand their own mortality? I mean, that's a rhetorical question because obviously they don't. And that's scary. Like, how many people out there with half of a real mind want to be alive forever? I mean, that's like the quintessential sort of like, you want to be alive forever so that you can take advantage of people forever? Like, that's weird. You're evil. Like, what is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Because there's something wrong with that. And I feel like shafting people on clean water is like a violation of human rights. I mean, again, why even make it like a question? Just, spray some chemical, like seriously, like unaliving over a long period of time is just the same as unaliving quickly, right? I mean, no, it's not though, right? Because you can extract more profits from people if you keep them alive longer. And that's unfortunate because, again, toxic water in the modern day world and the fact that PFAS has infected every part of water on the surface is like crazy. And it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And again, only industrialization can be blamed for this. Moreover, industrialization is often the scapegoat, but like, had industry just disposed of toxic material in a good way, which is possible, it's just a lot of money. And all the documentaries you'll ever see, you'll hear about all these crazy old companies knowing that they could have made a difference, but choosing not to because it was too expensive. You know what was less expensive to them? Continuing to behave like criminals, like little devils, exploiting the population, all while taking the lives of hundreds of thousands of people all over this country. Like, what? Like, again, like, I mean, is this tobacco or is this water? Because we've seen the same argument from the same groups of people for now well over 100 years. And again, at some point, like, shouldn't we be not stupid? Shouldn't we be not dumb and demand clean water and invest in infrastructure to take out all the PFAS and, actually dispose of fluoride in a way that it needs to be disposed of regardless of its cost? A waste byproduct should not be put in toothpaste or the city's water supply. I've talked about fluoride before on this channel, and again, it is a problem. It is a problem because it harms people. And moreover, it harms them over a long period of time. And that's worse. That's worse. So I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thanks for watching my channel, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Bye.